Hi, my name is Pieter Ardinois. I'm Business Development Manager RPA for the domain of RPA within Xylos, and I would like to take you with me in the story of RPA. In the first place, I would like to deep dive in the definition of RPA. What is it and how do we look at it? Then what problems does it solve? And then a little customer case for your inspiration. In the first place, what is RPA? RPA, for many, think that it's a software tool. It's not a software product at all. It's not a Microsoft solution. We work with Microsoft together, but it's not a Microsoft solution on itself, and it's definitely not an off-the-shelf product. It's more a set of tools that help you to work or help the employees to work more efficient and give insights in all the available information. We will dive in that definition more later. It helps in creating a digital workplace where it's obvious that a computer understands what we are doing and helps where possible. In the first place, robotic process automation. It consists of 3 words, and I would like to take you with me in those 3 words. First of all, automation. It's taking over human actions. Human actions that can be automated will be taken over by robots. It's not taking over all our jobs, it's just some actions within the process. And then when we talk about the process, it's each set of action with more than one step. Taking information out of a system, copying it and entering it in another system, that can be automated. And in the second and third place, it's robotic. It's repeating without whining. Nobody likes repetitive tasks. Nobody likes to do things over and over again. We sometimes whine about it. Robots don't do that. Robots just repeat it forever and ever as long as we want it. So we make a bold statement and we say RPA is taking the robot out of the human. And that's really true, and that's really our ambitions. And there are two types of RPA. In the first place, there's attended RPA, and then you have unattended RPA. Attended RPA, in the first place, it's automating individual tasks. It takes place on the desktop, on the computer of the employee. It's data extraction. It's entering data in a system, it's copying information from one website to a legacy system. It starts with a press on the button for the employee. And then we have unattended RPA. Unattended RPA, that's a system that runs in the background. We really are not involved with starting the process. It works autonomously on itself and following a predefined set of actions. It's information processing. Imagine a mail that comes in with an attachment. The attachment needs to be saved in a SharePoint library with extra metadata. Well, that can be done by an automated set of tasks, and that we call unattended RPA. So attended RPA takes place on the desktop. Unattended RPA takes place in the background. That's really something different. It requires a different set of tools, so that's why we don't say it's an off-the-shelf product. It's really a set of tools and a mindset to automate as much as possible. Now, what problems does it solve? There's a lot of problems that we can solve with it. It's automating repetitive tasks in the first place, creating room for more meaningful work and creative work, making sure that the employees' satisfaction on their job is improving by taking the robot out of the human. Then reducing errors when copying and entering data. When we have to copy data from one site to another site or from one system to another system, and we need to do that over and over again, we get tired of it and we make mistakes. That's just human. Everybody makes mistakes, and we need to research on those mistakes. When we automate it, we really don't have that time required to research on these errors. And then when automating things, we also can measure the process. And by measuring processes, we can give insights in those processes. And that allows us to fine-tune the process and improve the overall efficiency and operational excellence of the companies we work with. So what is RPA for Xylos? And we already had that definition. It helps employees to work more efficient and give insights in all possible information. It helps in creating the workplace where it's obvious that a computer understands what we do and helps where possible. And we build that definition, upon that definition we build our service on 3 main pillars. The first pillar is RPA. That's very obvious. It's making sure that people are working more efficient. RPA, business process automation, it's automating the repetitive tasks. But then, apart from the process, just a process is not enough on itself. A process is something that works with content information that resides within the company. And there we say we combine process and content together and call it RPA. And then the third pillar, it's the cognitive services. That's making sure that the computer understands what we are doing and helps where possible. That involves artificial intelligence. When a human needs to take a decision, the decision is supported by some intelligence within the process. So the three pillars, process, content, and people, are extremely important for us in our services. And they have our attention in every part of our project. Now, how do we help our customers? In the first place, we listen to the problems, we listen to the challenges that the customer have, and we try to understand the current processes. We try to understand the current software, and we demonstrate the possibilities that are already possible, that are already available within the company. Next to that inspiration session, we start with a proof of concept. The proof of concept is just a small project, maximum 2 weeks, in a separate environment where we help and where we build a small project to prove that the stories we tell are valid. And after that proof of concept, we move over to a first project. So we don't start with a digital transformation program. We don't start with a huge project. We start with listening, small project, and then we move over to a real project in production. We help you build up the scene for RPA and for automation. Automation is not very difficult. So what is our message? And that's really what I would like to stress out today. Automating is simple. It doesn't require a big program. It doesn't require a set of stakeholders and huge budget. We help you with improving small tasks with big impact, and we start with listening to your stories. And one of these stories is a story with a customer who wanted to automate incoming transport documents. The company has about 70,000 transports a year, and each transport is accompanied by a document. And on that document, there is a transport number. Now, the transport number needs to be recognized on each document, on each incoming document. Of course, you can imagine when a lorry enters a warehouse and he wants to scan those documents, the truck driver doesn't care about the order of the documents. He doesn't care about how the documents are sorted. So he just takes the documents, sets them in bulk, and puts them on the scanner. The scanner automatically mails those documents to a central mailbox. And then the administration officer needs to check every attachment, needs to check every document for that number. And he needs to organize and sort those documents in order to enter them in the final SAP or ERP system. And that's really key in that task. That's linking the first part, linking the lorry entering the warehouse with the whole process, and linking the initial order with the delivery all together with that one number. And as you can see, there's a lot of steps involved where it can go wrong. Where humans are involved, it's the scanning, it's the ordering, it's the recognition, it's the downloading of the attachment. There's a lot of issues or a lot of risks within that process to lose information. Now, and imagine that we need to do that 70,000 times a year. Now here comes RPA in place, and what's RPA? What's the ambition here? We are going to automate the things that are automatable, of course. And that's downloading the attachment, finding the number on the attachment, reorganizing the numbers, and putting the documents in the final system. And we start with, of course, downloading the attachment and recognizing the number on each document. Remember, it's a bulk scanned document, so we need to split those pages. Also, this is done automatically. The system recognizes the number, splits the documents, and then reshuffles the pages into new documents, new form documents, according to the recognized number. Of course, not every document is rightly scanned, not every number is correctly recognized, so the computer also knows where it might be an issue with the recognized number. So what do we do then? Bad documents, or documents with unrecognized number, are being placed in a queue and are used to train the system. So the more we use that system, the better it's getting. The system is getting better, and that's where artificial intelligence comes in place. So we have process, content, and people. the process is the scanning of the documents and putting it in the ERP system, linking the initial delivery and order all together in that process. It's content, it's unstructured information, the scanned documents, making sure that the numbers are corrected, and then it's involved people. People are only involved not in every step in the process, but just in the exceptional point where a number is not really recognized. So here are these three things linked together, and imagine that an administration officer is required to handle 70,000 emails a year. Right now it's reduced to just handling the exceptions. And the more we use that system, the more the number of exceptions will disappear. And that's really the power of RPA and the power of the way we are implementing RPA. Starting small budget with a big impact on the employee efficiency and ultimately the employee happiness. So for us, RPA is really not science fiction. It's not something difficult. It doesn't require a big budget. RPA is a set of tools that help you automating things from the first project on. And if you are inspired by that system or by our stories, reach out to me. We're here to help.